Welcome back. This is Adeline with Adejuan's Art Dolls. We are back here with, I always show y'all, Valencia. Yay! And we have done not a whole lot to Valencia. We have done some creasing because I actually did that out of term. I did that, some of that before I actually did her veins. And I know her veins look a little bit prominent, but she's going to have hair and it's going to cover up some of that. But I do like the veins to kind of peek through on her head, on my baby's heads and bodies. But by the time we get some skin layers on top of that, honey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So I did do partial. I did her face, and then I did do partial of her arms. So we're going to start there. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. It is greatly appreciative. Okay, so now let's get into this baby here. So, first I want to ask, how's everybody's day going? I'm hoping that you're having a good day. It's kind of gloomy around these camps down here, um, because we've had some rain this morning. I woke up to some rain, but other than that, it's okay. No sun's been out today, but it's all right. It's all right. Can't have a sunny day every day. Excuse me. I wished. I wished. Um, but yeah, creasing is all of these millions of creases on this baby. Um, me, I, not everybody creases every line on the baby. I think that it looks nice once the paint takes off some of it, some of the color. Then I think it looks nice. So I try to crease as much as possible, as much as I can see with my naked eye. That's what I do. I tried to crease with the eyes on, but and it was let me see everything, and I didn't want to really see everything. I wanted to leave something to be desired. So, um, anyway, but I do love creasing, because once I start to put my skin layers on, it's going to take off some of that paint, and then it's not going to look so boldly, so bold. And that's the way I like it. It's because it mellows the color down, and it looks natural to me. Because when you see your creases are dark in there. They may not be black. I'm not saying they're black dark, but they're darker than your skin. And that's what I like to see. I like to see the darkness of the skin. I mean, the veins. The I'm calling it everything but what it is. Creasing, girl, creasing. So, it takes such a long time to crease, and that's one reason why I only just do a certain amount of creasing online. I have 30 minutes. I try to knock my videos down to 30 minutes because when it goes over 30 minutes, my phone does not handle that well, and it wants to tell me what to do. Like, I'm not going to bring your video up because you went over 30 minutes. So I'm learning to be obedient and trying to keep my videos down a little lower so that I won't get chastised. So, but I love creasing. In fact, I love everything about putting these babies together. I have not found anything. I love to root. I have not found anything that I dislike about this process. It Everything just really came so natural when I first started, and it has even got any even better. You know, I've learned a lot about the process of these babies, and each baby I make is more fascinating to do, because sometimes when I look at the kit, I cannot visualize what the baby is actually going to turn out to be until I start to work on it. And then, not until I get close to it being finished, that I really say, oh, okay, that's what you're going to look like. You're going to be a cutie pie. And so, yeah, that's how I handle that. So, some people can visualize and right off the bat and tell you, well, I'm going to put uh, white hair on it. I'm going to put brown hair on it. I cannot do that. I have to wait until I get some layers of paint on this baby so I can actually see what the baby's going to look like. I can't just tell you what this baby is going to look like right off the bat, because I really don't know. Um, Sometimes you can think that the baby is going to come out a certain way, and it doesn't. It comes out just the opposite than what you thought. And then there you are, trying to figure out, trying to get a whole new game plan, because that's what you're doing. You're trying to get a whole new game plan on what you're going to do with this baby that you thought was going to be something else. And it turned out that it's not. So I just kind of wait till near the end to say what color hair I want to put on it, because really and truly, it just really depends on what kind of hair I got back there. You know, um, I I may not have the kind of hair it actually needs, but I got some hair that will work. So um, yeah, that's what I normally do. I wish I was more visual, but those people who can do that, they've probably worked that kit several times, um, and they have that visual for what a baby look like that they are working on or would like to work on. So maybe one day I'll have that vision when I start to really get off into it. After I've been into it a year or more, I put it like that. I have not been into it a year yet. It's only been some months, 8 or 9 months since I've been into it, since May. So I'm still working. I'm still learning. Um, yeah, I'm still learning. I, I still, I'm still looking for different ways to make my babies or whatever. I'm not sure if that's what I really want to say, but um, there is a way that you can do different things to your baby to make them come out a lot different, a lot softer, and I'm trying to work on a process to do that. And like I said once before, probably I would just do the baby, but I won't be showing the process. And in the comments, if you ask me what is the process, I'm going to have to decline on that, And not that I really want to. I have told you guys from the very beginning that I will be very transparent with you guys about the process, about what I do, where I get it, everything. But with this process that I am trying to do or going to do, I don't know about it. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. It's a test to me. And so I cannot readily say that here's how you do it. I can't readily say that because, like I said, it's a test to me. And so I just want people to understand that part. I will have to decline if you asked me how did I do the process, because I have to know for myself that it is something that's going to work before I put it out there to you. And I hope you appreciate that, um, because I wouldn't want somebody giving me some false information or some information that is not tested and would not work. So there you are. Um, I just want you to understand that. But I am going to work on that probably this weekend and ready, get that part ready. But I'll have to put a baby together to show the process, show you what it's going to actually be or look like. And it'll probably be one I want to do these twins, okay? These albino twins. I want to do it to these albino twins. So I'm going to start to root one's hair. And so I will probably do this process on the other one. And then you can see what it actually looks like. And yeah, then um, we'll go from there. I have to, like I said, test it. So once it is tested, I will do a video to show the progress or process, and then you can go from there. So if you don't bog me down with why, I may can get something done a little quicker. Okay, sorry about that. I get quiet when things get a little bit intense, and so we're at some of the parts that's getting a little bit intense. In the inside of the hand, you have a lot of creases, a lot of creases. And like I said, I'm one that want to see the work, my work, all my work. And talking about my work, I put a short out there of my custom baby. And of course, you know the haters. You know you got to get the haters out. It has 500 and something views, but the haters got to come out. And one of them, the first lady, she starts off by saying, "Well, and this is not a real baby. It's a doll." Okay, but she also said, "But it is a very good doll." I appreciated that. I didn't give her a hard time over that. I appreciate what she said. And I responded to her by saying that did not intentionally put that out for it to fool anybody. That's basically what I was saying. not in exact words, but basically that's what I was saying. And I says, and I appreciate your comment on how I said this is a hobby, and I want to show people what my artistry is about. And so I says, and I appreciate you commenting on that part. Okay, here we go with best grandma. Best grandma, she said, why do people do that? That's how she started it off. Why do people do that? That is a terrible warning or trigger warning or something for people who have sick children and people who have lost a child. Uh, my response to her was, this is my hobby again. This is my hobby, and I did not intend. No, I told her that I was sorry that she was upset about this doll, but this is my hobby, and I want people to see my artistry. And I says, but you had a chance when you saw this doll, you had a chance to pass it by, and but you wanted to leave your negativity. And I told her, so the next time you see a doll, don't give your negativity and be upset. Just keep on going. Keep going. That's all you got to do is just keep going. You do not have to stop. Nobody made you stop. Nobody told you had to stop. Just keep going. And then you can be a little bit more positive. I didn't say all of that, but some of that I said. But I'm just saying, she could be a little bit more positive with things and in life. And if you're a grandmother, you should be trying to teach positivity instead of negativity um, to your grandchildren. So you need to be a little bit positive about things. Now, when I was a child, my grandmother instilled in me, if you don't have something good to say, then don't say nothing at all. And baby, if she heard us saying something negative about somebody, oh well, it was our time to go out there and get them switches off of that tree. And if and they say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it did back in those days, because if your neighbor heard you say something like that, they gonna spank you and send you home to your mama, and she finna spank you. So it was a different kind of growing. I was a different kind of person growing up. I didn't have all of this lip that these children have. And sometimes when you didn't get that kind of raising, upbringing, then you were disrespectful when you were a child, the reason you're disrespectful as an adult. Um, so it just takes a little bit of positivity to turn that around, because that's a curse. So it just takes a little bit of positivity to turn that around, because when I say it's a curse because you're continually you are continuing it to go on, and your grandchildren are seeing this same thing that you're doing, and they will do it too. So if you turn that around, then you can be the one that breaks that curse in your family and go to something positive in your life. And pray, honey, pray. Just pray. Because the world is all screwed up because all of the godly things is taken out of everything. And that allowed the devil to get in and do his little deeds. And that's the reason why so many people have these corrupted minds, is because they never was raised with God to be in their life. Never was raised. These are the same people, like I've said before, that is, God loves me. Well, he does. Like I said, he does. But he don't love what you do. And that's the part you're gonna have to answer for, is what you do. It's not the love that he gonna look all over that love when you start to be ugly to people. And he's still gonna say, I'm gonna slap you upside your head, but I still love you. You know, that's what he gonna tell you. So, you know, people's people's be a little bit mindful that this is a hobby. These are dolls, and it's not hurting anyone. If you don't like it, move around. Pass it up. We okay with it. You don't have to stop and give your feedback on negativity. You don't have to do that. Just pass it up. I pass up a lot of stuff that I don't like, because it's easier for me to pass it up than to leave something negative. I'm trying my life, trying my best in this lifetime to be a positive person. And that negativity crap, I cannot take it. I do not hang around or be around. I won't say hang around, because I don't hang around anybody. Be around anybody that's negative. I just don't have that kind of spirit in my life. My life is for God, and God is good, and He is love. And that's what I go by. God is good, and He is love. And all this negative stuff, that's not God, that's the devil. So think about it when you say something ugly to somebody, that you practicing the devil's work, not the Lord's work. Think about it. Just think about it. So that's that on that. Because when I looked at those remarks, I thought, here we go again. I tell you, peoples, you just got to get it together and do some praying. Pray and believe. Pray and believe, and leave it alone. He'll take care of it. If it was not meant for these dolls to be here, they wouldn't be here. Believe you me, they wouldn't be here. God would not have given anybody this kind of knowledge to make these kind of dolls if they weren't needed for some reason or another. People who have lost, women who have lost babies, don't find it upsetting. Why would you be upset because you saw this baby? Honey, most of them will get them one of these babies. It's not that it upsetting to these people. It's more upsetting to you haters. That's who is upsetting. It's not upsetting the people who lost the babies. So, you know, just get you a hobby. That's all I gotta say, is get you a hobby. Quit feeding into negativity. Just get you a hobby. Be positive. Think positive. Make that be your resolution for 2026 and on. To be positive. And like my grandmother said, if you don't have anything good to say, then don't say nothing. Okay, guys. Did I do a hand? Yes, I did. Okay. We're going to do this foot, this leg rather, and it's going to be, because we're coming up on 25 minutes, and so we're going to chill this out in just a minute. And I have one more leg to do, and I will do it off camera. Because like I said, I'm trying to keep these to where they are needed to be. But I think she's going to turn out to be a pretty girl. And see, whatever the skin layers take off, I will go back. Usually, usually I have two times to do the skin layers. I'm sorry, do the creasing and the blushing. I usually do them twice, if needed, only if needed. And so if I have to do the creasing again, that's fine. I'm not gonna do have to do all of the creasing. I may have to do some of them, but not all of them, because not all of it comes off. Just some of it comes off, and and that's okay. That's okay because that's a little less than I have to, put back. But and the blushing, I the blushing probably I don't do that twice. Well, I'm going to do the lips, a part of the lips this time early. Usually I wait and then I wait too late. So I am going to start on the lips early and just put a little layer there and build them up as I paint, you know, my skin layers on and do all my other stuff. I'll just every now and then touch them up, touch the legs up. The lips up. Okay. Because when you're working with powder, when you're working with powder and you have a brush, the first time you put that brush down, you have these little powder beads. And those little beads stain in little specks if you don't get them off. Pouncing each one of these helps take off those little beads, and that's why I do this part. Okay, let's get the knee done. Okay. Sorry about the quietness, y'all. Sometimes I feel like this don't help pouncing. I'd rather just leave the paint, leave it on there once the paint get on there. it may take off, may or may not take off more than I want it to when I pounce it. So sometimes I don't pounce. Okay, now we are done with that leg and we have one more leg to do, but we will not be doing it on camera. We will be doing it off camera. And when you come back, everything will be done. But I'm going to end this video because we are right at 30 minutes. And please like and see that's the eraser. See how it stretches? See, the eraser stretches. That's the kind of eraser you need for these kind of powders and the pan pastel powders. But go down, hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. I will do another video, just a short video, to show everyone how to get on a subscriber list, because not all the times that you are on a subscriber list because you are a subscriber of the channel. So I will do probably a short video to tell you how to do that, so that if you want to be on a giveaway list, not necessarily mine, anybody's, but once you take yourself off of the private list and make yourself public, you will be on anybody's list, anybody that you subscribe to. So, with that being said, like I said, subscribe, like my video, share my video, and please comment. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.